From blackmail, and this time it ain't from Reimu, surprisingly, to inside knowledge, or lack of it, and powers very similar to another sage of yokai, if you look at it like that. Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Touhou Facts, the series where I talk about facts from Touhou that I find either fun, unusual, or simply interesting. So without further ado, let's begin the Interesting Touhou Facts number 94.
Number 5.
So we're going to be focusing on a work I haven't talked about for a while, Silent Sinner. Now this info shocks me, and yet at the same time, was not surprised by it. So in chapter 20, Aya heads to the shrine, and notes it's been 25 days since Reimu disappeared. Remember, at that time, Reimu, Marissa, Sakya, and Remiliad had head to the moon. Everyone came back except for Reimu. Aya makes a comment I wasn't ready to say. She proposes they'll have to find a new shrine maiden. She also says how many this will make and hopes the new shrine maiden could make lots of news for her paper. From Aya's dialogue, we learn that the shrine maidens are chosen, but at the very least yokais. I would have to imagine the Tengus would take part in the decision since Aya said we, but we simply don't have enough info on that. I originally assumed the Hakari shrine maidens were based on a family lineage. From Aya's comment, it appears it's not the case. Whatever requirements to become one, I have no idea. I mean, technically speaking, any one of us could be the shrine maiden. Although in Touhou standards, you at the very least need to be a girl to be mentioned anywhere. So that leaves many of us out of that rule. Not that I'm complaining. Dealing with incidents sounds like a pain in the ass.
Number 4.
So after checking out this series, you should be wary that blackmail is nothing new. I mean, if your main character, whose main job is to solve incidents, has no problem blackmailing people, then everyone is free game at that point. For this person, I can totally see her doing so with no arguments. So in chapter 45 of Wild, there's a banquet. Originally, Reimu and Marissa were supposed to handle the preparation and food, but that's not the case as someone told them not to do shit, and it got really annoying to Reimu. It turns out the ones handling the party is Tenchi and Shion. That's not a good sign. Kazin tries to give the two a piece of her mind as the hermit didn't appreciate the way Tenchi was acting. Tenchi then orders Kazin to make sure no one else brings anything for the banquet. The Celestial then warns Kazin about wanting to get into heaven, and pretty much threatens her by saying it would be mighty bad if the Celestials knew a wicked hermit was abusing animals. For a heavenly being, Tenchi sure knows how to be a douchebag. But that's nothing new considering the events of Scarlet Weather. Good luck, Kazin!
Number 3.
For this next fact, we're going to be looking at Okina, Miss Secret God. This will involve her unique ability. I have to admit, I've never heard of this until now. She has the ability to create doors on anything. That's gotta be a lot of doors then, if anything can have one. As literally stated, Okina causes a door to appear on the back of anything, even living beings. This allows her to travel wherever she wishes or to send something somewhere else. For example, the Door of the Seasons that gives a player character their ability to use a season's magic allowed Okina to steal the accumulated magic through the use of the season, and expel the player character away to where they gained their ability. That explains why the girls weren't able to beat Okina the first time, since she was practically using their powers they had gathered during the game and then expelled them afterwards. The door connects to the extra-dimensional land of the back door, or Ushirodo no Kuni, though which a number of other doors of Okina's creations are accessible. It makes things convenient if you have a place for all those bloody doors. Characters themselves also utilize doors on someone else to find Okina. Like Chiruno, she used Eternity's back door to get her rematch. For what I described, her abilities are similar to Yukari in the veins that allows fast and easy transportation. But that's as far as similarities I can think of. Sounds like if you want to be a yokai sage, better have the ability to move anywhere you want.
Number 2.
Now Zune makes all the games by himself, the main series anyway. A lot of work, no doubt, but very impressive. All details regarding the game is all to himself until he releases the demo and the final game shortly after. The details are in such a lockdown, not even the other team knows what's going on. Allow me to explain. Twilight Frontier makes the fighters, but not even they have inside knowledge of future games. When they created Urban Legend in Limbo, they had no idea that it was simply a stepping stone for the events of Legacy. They were shocked when they first saw Zune's blog detailing Legacy for the first time. The only knowledge they know is the game they're collaborating with Zune at that time. Even I'm surprised by it. I had thought Zune would give Twilight some heads up if he was also working on something else, so they could try to reference a future game. But clearly that was not the case. Glad to see we're not the only ones in the dark.
Number 1.
For this last fact, we're going to be taking it to curiosities. This takes place in chapter 31, where Sumiriko was visiting Korondo and it was snowing. That and Narmi was there and talking about how much the high schooler costed. Anyway, Marissa came to the place. She explained the events to Rinosuke and Sumiriko. The thing is, she lied about most of the story. To be fair, Marissa lying isn't shocking. That wasn't the problem. The issue is that Marissa had not told them who the culprit was, which led Rinosuke to come up with some theories. First, that Marissa was lying about solving the incident. We could say Reimu did it, so technically true. Second, Marissa had actually been won over by the culprit. Third, the culprit is someone she knows and she's covering for her. Nah, I'm sure Marissa would rat out that person if that was the case. Marissa eventually spills the beans about what had happened during Hidden. Rinosuke, Sumiriko, and Narmi, who had arrived, were amazed at Okina's powers. Their reaction was the reason why Marissa didn't want to tell the story. As the incident was to show her power, their reaction to either shocked, scared, and to admire her was the effect Okina wanted. Which makes sense because, for those who don't remember, the whole reason the event happened was that Okina wanted to stand out and show her power to make sure everyone knows her in Gensokyo. Since Marissa had to explain the whole situation, Okina got the effect she wanted. GG on her part. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Which facts were your favorite? Are you curious to who could have been the Shrine Maiden if Reimu was gone longer? Are you not surprised Tenchi was blackmailing Keizen? Or do you find it funny that not even Twilight Frontier have that sweet inside knowledge of future games? If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, or else Tenchi might threaten me out of heaven. Not that it would matter since I would need to be in Gensokyo in the first place, but you know, there's always that. Either way, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.